Ah, a young man. Nay, not a man, but a halfling. Odd that you would be able to speak to one such as I. I am, after all, quite dead. I would speak to you of a tale. A sad tale. Listen, halfling. I have a granddaughter named Caitlin. She's been missing for a long time now. A single one of her slippers was left by the lake. That's all that has been found. Please, I beg of you, find out what happened to my granddaughter. Where to start? I believe the place where the dead are properly buried. Take this key and bring this mystery to an end. Only then will I find peace. And to help you further, I shall open the way from this tower. Farewell. You grab the key. You see a single slipper. You are now the proud owner of a slipper. It's interesting because it looks like that's just one of the default texts, but you'd think it would make a comment about being able to take it now. Now, as Dorn said, he has opened the way for us. We can now open this main gate door. Something sparkles. Looks like your lucky day. You have obtained a coin. This dilapidated table looks to have seen better days. You see a number of swords. Their blades appear sharp and well cared for. You were impressed by how well maintained these spears are. This shield is far too heavy for a halfling. You found a broken lance. Now, of course it gives us the option to take the broken items, but not the perfectly good ones on the wall. You take the weapon thinking that even a broken lance is better than nothing. You found a broken sword. You decide to take the sword, even if it is broken. You believe that this is where a smithy repaired weapons. And even though it seems like you could, you can't interact with those bolts over there. There's nothing worse than the smell of roasting boar meat. Are you sure we did come from the sewers? You thought you could escape from me? How fortunate that you walked right back to me. It's the Dungeon Keeper. Possessing a speed that belies his enormous size, the Dungeon Keeper grabs you. He squeezes you in both arms, quickly sending you into oblivion. As you lose consciousness, you hear his satisfied chuckle. Let's check out what's upstairs. It appears to have been neglected for some time. Except for the tableware, everything seems to be in order. Someone over here. The title of the book is Denarth Family Chronicles. You take the book, pleased at your new acquisition. Let's check it out. The line of Denarth Dragon Keepers of Kal Torlin is traced back hundreds of thousands of years to the first appearance of dragons on this world. It is said that the first dragon, the mighty Bohalor, chose a man of great stature to be his keeper. The man was the first of the Denarths. It is said that Bohalor chose him for his empathy and also for his superb musical skills. That the first Denarth had the sweetest voice in all the land, and all the descendants of his line had similar skills. The line of Denarth is a secretive one, choosing to shun everyday dealings with men. This makes it difficult to obtain insight into the nature of the Dragon Keepers. However, one such accounting of the line came by way of a traveling troubadour. The musician's name was Genlin, and he had very little skill. He explained that he was seeking an audience with Denarth because of his renowned musical abilities. He wished to study under the Dragon Keeper. However, Genlin goes on to relate that Denarth neither sang nor did he play an instrument while Genlin was there. Instead, he allowed the young troubadour to stroke the fiery red dragon's egg that was about to hatch. Genlin left shortly thereafter with a skill not seen before nor after in a troubadour. He commented that the egg's pulse and reassuring glow seemed to transfer a calm and peace that he could not help but play with his newfound talent. You are surprised at the heaviness of the satchel. Can't interact with this bed, but it's on quite a slant. This looks like a book of poetry. The troubadour must receive inspiration from it. That troubadour being the one over there, as we can now see by the lyre he is holding. I'm afraid that I don't know what you're talking about. And that is because we're wearing the Ring of the Dead. As it said before, it muddles our connection with the human world. You slip the ring off your finger. You feel momentarily dizzy, but it quickly passes. Hello, traveler. I'm a troubadour. My name is Will Goddard. I'm sure you've heard of me. No? Ah, you must be from somewhere outside Kal Torlin. Would you care for a song? Ah, an audience! I shall begin with the Saga of Lord Gyre. Now, I'll have to read this pretty quickly. Warriors fight in blood-drenched sand. Upon this hill they make their stand. Thunder rolls across the plain, the lingering cry of the forgotten slain. Moving through the night, a somber cry, victory, a somber cry, history. Mighty Lord Gyre leading the way, turning the nighttime into day. The staff of ages, made by a sage, the warlock lord melts in his rage. Imprisoned in the light, a rousing cry, victory, a rousing cry, history. Suddenly, as quickly as it had started, Will's song comes to an end. The song of the legendary hero of Kal Torlin moves you. Well, young traveler, what do you think of my song? It is an extremely old song, but I like it very much. You listen well, halfling, and you know talent when you hear it. Would you care to hear another song? This is a song that all the thieves like. It's called The Song of Triumph. We're strong men of the grassy plain, we're thieves then, seeking golden gain. Fear us, O gods on high, hate us, O men who die. Fear us, O beasts below, hate us, O ancient foe. We're strong men of the grassy plain, we're thieves then, seeking golden gain. Will's song comes to an end. The song is a favorite around the castle, as you might guess. I started playing it when I realized that it may just keep me alive here. Now, it's all the thieves want to hear. You listen well, halfling, and you know talent when you hear it. Would you care to hear another song? Now, believe it or not, here is a song written by the Dungeon Keeper. The keeper of the dungeon imprisons my heart. A fiddle made of wood will keep us apart. Long into the night he embraces its bow. A sweet song, and yet his love I'll not know. The keeper of the dungeon imprisons my heart. You are glad when this particular song comes to an end. Not only can he write music, but he's a fair violin player. I had heard that he sold it for some reason or another. It's not why he sold it, but what happened when he sold it. Apparently, he was seen crying as he sold it. Can you imagine? I guess every man has this weakness, eh, halfling? All I can say is that it is a decent song and makes the thieves laugh. Thank you for listening. It has been a long time since I felt appreciated. As an expression of my gratitude, I would like to give you this flower. While at court, if the royals were pleased, they would give me such a gift. I think it appropriate to give it to you. Fare thee well. You smell a sweet fragrance as you are given the flower. It was a pleasure to perform for you, traveler. Need I mention? Please do not repeat my tales of the Dungeon Keeper to anyone. He does not think kindly of me, especially since it was I who chipped his violin. Now that's an important bit of information that we'll be using very shortly. This building looks awfully old. There are small cracks in it here and there. You found the petition. To Captain of the Guard. We find the conditions of the roads intolerable. Bandits freely attack and plunder most of our caravans. We respectfully ask that you solve this problem. The Traders Guild. It's pretty polite considering caravans of people are being ransacked and murdered. Surely only one of the king's knights could use such a heavy shield. You could never wield such a sword as this in battle. You found an impressive bracelet. Will you take the bauble? With a glance around, you take the bracelet. Interestingly enough, that emblem there is actually quite a high resolution. If you were playing this at its native resolution, you would barely be able to see it. Among the stones, you notice a gem. Will you take the precious stone? I find that comment strange considering this is the only stone in the room. Maybe it was supposed to be in a pile or something originally. This dish is quite ornate. You decide that you could use a dish like this. Let's see what's in here first. This looks like the passageway Belzar went through earlier. We've surrounded Shadowgate, and outside, the troops have encircled the castle. Isn't that the same thing? Go over there. Yes, over there. What are you waiting for? A lovely scream by Del. Guardman's Creed. One dedicated in service shall never leave his post. Guardman's motto. Hold the gates at all cost. Guardman's Law. A guard of 2 can hold any castle gate. That one I don't agree with so much. Ah, if it isn't the halfling from the trade caravan. I had heard that you escaped. You should have stayed there. It is much safer. Don't worry. I do not wish to catch you. No, things have changed. Belzar has returned. This is an evil portent indeed, and I fear for all of us. I have seen what Belzar can do. The snake has cut down over a score of my men. So be careful, halfling, for Belzar now rules this strange castle. I believe the implication is that this man is the leader of all the bandits. What? You wish to know more from me? You are brave. About Belzar's dark army? You want to hear more about Belzar? I can tell you what I know. Belzar was originally a disciple of the legendary sorcerer Lakmir. But he violated Lakmir's teachings, dabbling in black magic, and was Belzar is older than he looks, for the black magic he practices keeps him alive. Just recently, he returned to Shadowgate, and I believe something is about to happen. Unless you're a hero like Lord Gyre, I advise you not to go near him. And to my eyes, you don't look like a legendary hero, halfling. Do you wish to know something else? About the ghost of the lake? Have you gone to the lake at the back of the park? By the tower with no door? There's supposed to be a ghost there, of a little girl. I've never seen her, while others swear they hear her voice. Personally, I think it's just a bard's tale and nothing more. Do you wish to know something else? About the treasure hunters? On the other side of the castle gate is a place where the treasure seekers dig. One of them, it is said, mutters day and night about coins, old coins. The others mutter of strange things as if they are possessed. Aye, it is a bad omen, and believe me, Belzar must be behind it. Do you wish to know something else? About the fire in the stable? There was a commotion at the stable. A fire broke out, but the cause is unknown. Because of the fire, the stable keeper is a bit on edge of late. He has even gone so far as to put signs up. Imagine that, and so few of us can read. Personally, I think he is this way because of that fermented feed he uses. Do you wish to know something else? About the troubadour? Some time ago, we came across a troubadour. He was in sad shape. He had apparently collapsed during his travels, and we took him in. He's been here ever since. I have no idea why he stays. Perhaps he likes it here. Perhaps he's wanted by the King's Royal Guard. He says he is a famous bard, that he has sung before princes. That may be so, but then again, I wouldn't count on it from one such as he. Do you wish to know something else? About the innkeeper? In this ruined fortress, there's a strange man named Modor, who runs an inn. The inn's name is the Rusty Sword. Black market traders seem to be its only patrons. Modor is a grim man who seems to dislike and distrust everyone he meets. The only exception, perhaps, was that old woman. He seemed to treat her kindly. But she died some time ago, and since then, Modar has grown more unbearable. If there's something you want to ask, come anytime.